plagues that melt your insides, warlords who kill for sport, and famine so severe it makes cannibalism a rumor worth checking. If you think you could survive 24 hours in the Middle Ages, think again. Here are 12 brutal reasons you'd be dead before sundown. For starters, you smell too clean. If you walked into a medieval village, smelling like a lavender-scented body wash, you'd instantly raise suspicion. Daily bathing was rare, as many believed water carried disease, not washed it away. You're a walking sorcerer. The townsfolk don't care that you've got good hygiene. They care that you smell unnaturally good. And in a world ruled by paranoia and superstition, anything unnatural burns at the stake. So in other words, your Old Spice would likely end up having you as the fire starter for the night. But smelling too good isn't your only problem. Eating might be worse. You can't digest the bread. You thought bread would be safe. Think again. Medieval grains were often stored poorly, allowing a toxic mold called ergot to grow. Eating it could trigger seizures, convulsions, and terrifying hallucinations. Some historians even link it to witch hysteria. So while you tear into that crusty loaf, don't be surprised if you start seeing demons or become one in the villager's eyes. And if the bread doesn't kill you, your immune system will finish the job. Dysentery, smallpox, the Black Death, even the common cold could kill you. And guess what? The average person back then was exposed to diseases from birth. You're a bubble-wrapped 21st century germaphobe. One drink from a filthy bucket and your organs start shutting down. Medieval medicine definitely won't save you. In fact, it might actually make it worse. But even if you survive the sickness, you won't survive the politics. In a feudal society, everything, and I mean everything, revolved around rank. Bowing too late? Insult. Standing too tall? Insult. Using the wrong title? You're lucky if it's just a flogging. Say something sarcastic to the wrong knight, and suddenly you're the evening entertainment. Trial by combat isn't a game. It's a death sentence for outsiders who talk too much. So good luck, winning a sword fight against a trained mercenary in a 55-pound suit of armor. You might as well just keel over on the spot. Even if you get comfortable with their very different semantics, just don't try comforting yourself with a warm meal, unless that is you are particularly fond of maggots. Medieval cuisine wasn't romantic. It was survival. Black bread laced with sand for filler, scrumptious. Meat crawling with parasites, delicacy. And everything boiled until flavor died a slow, bubbling death, as common as the plague. But what about the fresh food? Not a concept. You're used to DoorDash. They're used to scraping mold off their dinner. Your stomach's going to rebel before you even finish that moldy, unrecognizable breakfast. Food aside, even the tiniest injury could be your last mistake. Modern medicine has spoiled you. Pain medication, prescription drugs, and incredible advancements in chemistry and biology are the world you've come to love. In medieval times, even a simple cut could get infected fast. Without antibiotics, a scrape becomes a festering wound. Doctors? Think barbers with saws. Their go-to treatment for infection? Amputation. Or prayers. Mostly prayers. You better hope that paper cut doesn't bleed too long, or you'll be the next one up on the chopping block. Oh, and I hope you like the cold, because the cold won't like you. Forget heating, or a nice cozy fireplace. Your house is stone, your bed is straw, and your clothes are wool. Wet wool. Your shoes are virtually non-existent. unless you have some money to your name so you could afford some cold leather boots. Winters were brutal, and unless you were nobility, warmth wasn't guaranteed. You'd be layering rags, huddling with livestock, and hoping the rats didn't chew your toes off while you slept. Heat wasn't a luxury, it was a miracle. But if freezing doesn't get you, something in the forest probably will. The roads weren't safe, ever. Bandits, raiders, and mercenaries lurked in forests, waiting for travelers. Law enforcement, almost non-existent. If you left the village walls, you were fair game. You might not even see the sword that kills you, just a flash of steel, then darkness. Your phone, your shoes, your shiny teeth, all of it screams wealth. And wealth screams target. Or worse, those items cause the church to arrest you on the account of witchcraft, resulting in a hot death, to say the least. If you really did happen to bring your cell phone, heaven help you, because no one else will. Explain Bluetooth to a peasant. Go ahead. Show them your phone and its LED-lit screen, or your watch, or quote basic science or mathematics. Almost everything you deem normal, to them, is black magic. And black magic means death. Trials weren't fair. Evidence wasn't needed. A neighbour's word? Enough. Even less of a trial if you so happened to be a woman. You'd be tortured until you confessed. Then executed, so no one else learned your dark arts. Your items, confiscated and exorcised by a priest, then along with your body, tossed into a fiery grave. So to them, you're Voldemort, and the world thinks you're cursed. Great start. The world outside, even worse. Cities were deafening. Blacksmiths hammering steel on every corner. Church bells ringing in extremely close proximity to your home. Bustling, disgusting markets, filled with infidelity, nudity, and the smell, unbearable. The streets have you wade through, the community lavatory. Pleasant, right? And that's just daytime. At night, silence. Real, bone-deep silence, broken only by wolves, or screams in the distance of your neighbour who was just raided by bandits. You're used to noise that comforts. Maybe a little Netflix in the background, or perhaps some YouTube to drift off to. This noise, it haunts. It turns your imagination against you. You won't sleep, and if you do, you might not wake up. By this point, your nerves are shot, you're frightened, and you're starving. And the worst part, it's just getting started. One bad harvest meant famine. Entire villages disappeared. You can't garden, you can't hunt and scavenge. There's no how-to tutorials on building shelter or capturing and raising livestock. You, amidst all this, probably can't even cook without Google. In the Middle Ages, food was labor. Every bite, earned. If you don't pull your weight, you don't eat. And if you do eat, hope it wasn't spoiled, hope it wasn't poisonous. Hope you live to see the next meal. Everything was a sacrifice. Those savory meals you enjoyed back home, your fellow villagers, with you now included, won't be seeing those for at least a few hundred more years. If you can hold out long enough until you're hungry enough to risk eating anything, the plague will already be in your blood. The Black Death killed millions. It didn't care about age, wealth, or rank. It spread unbelievably fast. One cough, one flea, one handshake. Any of that and it was already too late for you. You wouldn't even know you're infected until the boils start. Then it's a fever. Then it's madness. The stench, unlike anything you could ever imagine. And no one's coming to save you. They're already dead. You might as well start singing Ring Around the Rosie, because after all, it is about you. So, after all that, do you still really think you'd survive? If this glimpse into medieval brutality shook you, imagine living it. Smash the like button if you made it out alive, and subscribe for more deep dives into the darkest corners of medieval history.